Mental health is a vital part of our overall well-being. It includes our emotional, psychological, and social health. It affects how we think, feel, and act. Yet talking about mental health can be very hard for many people, especially young people. Often there's a feeling of shame or fear. This is called stigma. Stigma makes people worry about being judged or misunderstood if they share their struggles. They might fear that others will see them as weak or different. This silence can make feelings of loneliness and isolation much worse, preventing them from seeking the help they need. The world is changing, and so are the ways we communicate. Today, young people spend a lot of time on social media platforms like Instagram, TikTok, and Pinterest. These spaces are filled with images, videos, and stories. While there are many challenges online, there is also a great opportunity. A new movement is using these digital spaces to change the conversation around mental health. Artists and advocates are creating and sharing digital illustrations. These simple but powerful images are starting important conversations. They offer a new language for feelings that are often too difficult to put into words. This visual approach is making mental health topics more accessible and less intimidating for everyone. Digital art has a unique power to connect with us instantly. A single drawing can communicate a complex feeling much faster than a long text. When you scroll through your social media feed, a colorful and relatable illustration can catch your eye. It might show a character feeling overwhelmed, anxious, or sad. For a young person experiencing similar emotions, seeing this can be incredibly validating. It sends a clear message. You are not alone in how you feel. This visual connection helps to normalize these experiences, making them feel like a shared part of being human rather than a personal failing. This shift towards visual communication is a game changer for mental health awareness. Online campaigns use these illustrations to spread positive messages and provide helpful information. They create a safe and supportive environment where young people can learn and share. The art becomes a bridge, connecting those who are struggling with resources and a community that understands. It transforms a private struggle into a public conversation, one that is built on compassion and shared understanding. By using the platforms where young people already are, these campaigns meet them where they are and offer support in a format they understand and appreciate. Digital illustrations are a powerful tool because they can make abstract ideas concrete. Feelings like anxiety or depression are often hard to describe. They can feel like a heavy cloud, a tangled knot of wires, or a deep, dark hole. Artists can draw these metaphors, turning an internal feeling into an image that everyone can see and understand. For example, an artist might draw a person with a rain cloud over their head to represent a low mood. This simple picture makes the feeling of sadness instantly relatable. It gives people a visual vocabulary to talk about their own experiences, making it easier to say, "That's exactly how I feel." Color is another essential element in these illustrations. Colors have a strong connection to our emotions. Artists use this connection to convey different moods and feelings. Bright, warm colors like yellow and orange can represent happiness, hope, and energy. In contrast, cool, dark colors like blue and gray can show sadness, loneliness, or emptiness. A drawing might use a splash of bright color in a mostly gray picture to symbolize a moment of hope or a small step towards healing. This use of color helps people understand the emotional tone of the message immediately, even before they read any text that comes with it. Symbols and storytelling are also key parts of how these illustrations work. An artist might use a recurring symbol, like a cracked teacup being carefully mended, to tell a story about healing and recovery. This visual narrative can be very powerful. It shows that healing is a process and that it is okay to be fragile. These stories create a connection with the viewer, helping them feel seen and understood. Young people can follow these stories over time, which can give them a sense of hope and encouragement. They see that change is possible and that they are not stuck in their current state of mind. Online mental health campaigns often use these illustrations to create a strong community. When people see an image that resonates with them, they are more likely to share it, comment on it, and talk about it with their friends. This act of sharing helps spread awareness and reduces stigma. It creates a domino effect where one person's courage to share inspires others to do the same. This creates a supportive online space where young people feel safe to express themselves and ask for help. The art becomes a conversation starter, opening the door to deeper discussions about mental health and well-being. Research shows that images have a profound effect on our brains and our ability to feel for others. My own work in art therapy has shown that creating and viewing art can lead to healing and self-understanding. When we look at an illustration that depicts an emotional experience, our brains react. As scholar Paul Masaris noted, images can create a strong sense of presence and reality. When we see a drawing of someone struggling, we can almost feel their pain. This is because our brains have mirror neurons that help us understand and share the feelings of others. This process builds empathy, which is the ability to understand and share the feelings of another person. The psychologist Albert Bandura's social learning theory also helps explain why these illustrations are so effective. He argued that we learn by observing others. When young people see illustrations that model healthy coping mechanisms or show characters seeking help, they are more likely to adopt these behaviors themselves. For instance, an illustration showing a character talking to a friend or a therapist can make these actions seem normal and positive. It provides a visual guide for what to do when facing a challenge. This observational learning helps to change attitudes and behaviors around mental health for the better. Art historian Susan Hogan has explored how art can challenge social norms and give a voice to marginalized groups. Mental health illustrations on social media are doing exactly this. They are challenging the stigma that has long silenced people with mental health conditions. By presenting these experiences in a creative and accessible way, artists are changing public perception. They are turning a topic once hidden in the shadows into something that can be openly discussed. These images empower individuals by affirming their experiences and showing them that they are part of a larger community. They help build a new, more compassionate visual culture around mental health. When a viewer engages with a mental health illustration, a complex process unfolds in their mind. First, they recognize the emotion being depicted. Then they might relate it to their own life experiences. This can lead to a moment of self-reflection and insight. They might think, "I felt that way too," or "Now I understand what my friend is going through." This creates a powerful connection between the art, the artist, and the viewer. The illustration becomes more than just a picture. It becomes a tool for empathy, understanding, and personal growth. It helps to build a more informed and compassionate society. For artists and advocates who want to create effective mental health illustrations, there are a few simple tips to keep in mind. First, authenticity is key. Draw from real experiences, whether they are your own or those shared by others. Honest and genuine art is what connects most deeply with people. Second, use simple and clear visuals. Avoid clutter and complex imagery. A straightforward metaphor or a relatable character will have a much bigger impact. The goal is to communicate a feeling or idea quickly and effectively, so simplicity is your friend in this digital landscape. Another important tip is to focus on messages of hope and resilience. While it is important to honestly portray struggles, it is equally important to show that healing is possible. Illustrations that depict coping strategies, small victories, or the process of recovery can be incredibly inspiring. Include helpful information in the caption, such as links to mental health resources or crisis hotlines. This turns a piece of art into a practical tool for support. Always remember to add a content warning if the image deals with sensitive topics, to give viewers control over what they see. Mental health professionals and advocates agree that these illustrations are making a significant positive impact. They see them as a valuable entry point for conversations that might otherwise never happen. These images can act as a gentle nudge, encouraging someone to reach out for professional help. For artists, creating this work can be a therapeutic process in itself, allowing them to process their own emotions while helping others. The collaboration between artists and mental health experts is crucial for ensuring that the messages being shared are accurate, safe, and helpful for the community. In conclusion, digital illustrations are transforming the landscape of mental health awareness for young people. They break down the walls of stigma with color, creativity, and compassion. These images offer a new language to express the inexpressible, fostering empathy and building supportive online communities. They are more than just pretty pictures. They are powerful tools for social change, education, and healing. For young people navigating the complexities of their mental health, for artists seeking to make a difference, and for society as a whole, this growing movement represents a brighter, more understanding, and more colorful future.